Good afternoon and welcome. You're watching Your Trades on ET Now. I am Harsh Saita. With me is Srishti Sharma. In the next half an hour, we'll take you through all that's happened in trade. We'll try and highlight all of those stocks which were buzzing, why they were buzzing. So do stay tuned. But straight off at the Nifty, absolutely flat as a pancake, up just 1 basis point in trade today, but it was a choppy day nonetheless. If you look at the Nifty chart, it was all up and down, but it's ended the day in the green, safe and sound, not lost anything at all. You saw the likes of an Adani Enterprises, HDFC Life, ITC as well as NTPC, all of which gained over 1% in trade. BPCL and Cipla were the top losers on the Nifty. Even with regard to the broader markets, you saw the broader markets gain today and gain very, very well. So that was the one positive takeaway. Small and mid-cap indices have done quite well, given that the benchmark was absolutely flat. And you saw, sectorally, you saw the Nifty Bank absolutely flat. You saw Nifty Auto up around 0.5%. FMCG also up around 0.5% or thereabouts. You saw the Nifty Media as well as the metal both up around 0.5% as well. The US bond yields are in focus. You're seeing the US 10-year bond yield at now 4.31%. That's a 15-year high on the US 10-year bond yield. Of course, in focus, and that will influence markets as well. Because you have the risk-free rate of return at its 15 or 16-year high, as you would call it. Also, power demand hit its life high in India, and power stocks on the back of that were completely charged up. Srishti.
Well, absolutely. We're moving on to some other counters. Then second day of the listing for Jio Financials, and once again was seen to be hitting a lower circuit and locked at a lower circuit of 5%. That's after the readjusting that's been done by the fund houses, and because of that there has been no respite to that. And lastly, from the IPO world, we were having a look at how the subscription numbers are panning out for Aeroflex Industries. That's a new baby on the stock markets exchanges that we will be seeing the listing in some days from now. But on the first day itself, what a stellar response, and that IPO has been oversubscribed till date. But that was the top news of the day. But for tomorrow, how are the index shaping up? What kind of a move that we're going to be expecting? And also, what are some of the stocks that you need to be focusing on? Let's try to find an answer to all of these questions. And for that, we are being joined by Kunal Bothra with us live in the studios. So Kunal, like Harsh was saying, flat as it could be, and he mentioned as a pancake. So firstly, tell us about your love for the pancakes, and also after having a pancakes, can we expect a good up move in the markets?
Well, there are already too many pancakes. No, so I am on a diet, so no pancakes. But otherwise on the markets, since yesterday I was actually with a bullish stance on the index, expecting the index to get into a bounce. But throughout the day, in fact, especially in the second half of the day, when the index was some 25-30 points plus for the Nifty and I think 80-90 points on the Bank Nifty, that was a point where most of the indicators had actually entered into a negative territory. So that caused a lot of concern as well as discomfort for short-term traders. Now, typically that's what happens, that when the index gets into a bounce of 100-150 points and the mid caps and small caps, they tend to do pretty well. There is always a possibility that traders, they tend to carry forward higher number of long positions, but this was actually a sign or an indication that to reduce the long positions as well as go for very, very specific kind of stocks itself. So not too much enthusiastic about the bounce for the index, what we've seen in the last 2 days, and especially after today where the indicators have come back into neutral to negative territory for Nifty specifically.
Right, Kunal. And, if I can also ask you, in this absolutely flattish sort of market, where are you seeing pockets of trading opportunities, if I can call it? What are your topics?
So I'll still go with biocalls and on the mid-cap names, but then the risk reward would be 1:1 for most of the stocks. One of them would be a buy on Gail. That's the stock which I think is heading towards a breakout about 116 or 17 mark where the stock closed today. So expecting the stock to move up towards 122. Stop loss for this trade is 112. And the second would be buy on GMDC, classical breakout about 185 mark first, 190 levels, and I think the stock closed at the high point of the day. So GMDC is also something which looks attractive, would suggest a buy with a potential short-term target of 205, stop loss at 186.